Hello Northwood fans, and welcome to our 2017 Northwood baseball season preview alongside head coach Jordan Bischel. I'm Jake Riepma, and coach, first and foremost, thanks for taking some time with us.
You bet. Excited to chat with you today.
We look at this team from a year ago, 25 and 24 on the season. You lose some key pieces, but you got to be excited about the cast that's coming back.
Yeah, I think we have an opportunity to have a really nice year in front of us. To me, what was, exciting about last year is if you look at our record, it wasn't really a disappointment, but our guys were awfully disappointed in not making the postseason. And I think they've just changed their expectation level. That to them, 25 and 24 is not what they're shooting for. So that expectation level is starting to change, and now we got to hopefully follow through and move up the conference a little bit.
Certainly that bitter taste, so to speak, can really provide a lot of motivation in the offseason, into the fall season. How did you feel about the step forward you guys took during the offseason?
Yeah, I think we've seen a group where our chemistry has built a tremendous amount. We have guys that like each other, that get along, that care about each other. I think that goes a long way in that process. So I think that's a huge first step as we get rolling here.
Head coach Jordan Bischel is our guest as we preview the 2017 Northwood baseball season. You start out with some non-conference games first, early in February, hard to believe, coming up, a game against Milligan, and then on to Carson Newman. What are your expectations for those early games in the month of February?
Yeah, we're about 3 weeks into practice here, which always catches you off guard. I mean, it's the middle of winter, and we're really heavy into it right now, and we're less than 3 weeks from playing. So that's going to get on us fast. And we're going to be challenged down there. Milligan opening up, we don't know a whole lot about them in NAIA school, but Carson Newman is a really good program. Does everything well. They'll defend bunts, they'll run pickoffs, they will be really, really well coached, and they'll have played about 8 games before we get down there. So that's a big challenge early, but it's a great series to give us an idea what do we need to work on. They'll expose us if we're not prepared in a certain area, and that'll help us get ready for GLIAC play.
You open the GLIAC in the end of March, starting at Tiffin. Just earliest thoughts looking ahead to the GLIAC schedule. What jumps out to you right away?
Well, it's the depth in the conference. There's never a weekend where you can circle it and say, man, we ought to go out and get 3 or 4 wins this weekend. Everybody's pretty talented. Everybody's pretty good. They're going to have a couple of top-end arms. They're going to have some lineups that produce runs. And so every weekend's a challenge. If you play really well, you're going to win games. But if you slip up at all, every team's ready to beat you 3 or 4 times.
And speaking of arms, the addition of Tyler Jandren for you guys, who was an all-conference player in the GLVC, transferring from Wisconsin Parkside. Speak a little bit about the depth of your pitching staff.
Yeah, we're excited about Tyler, but the nice thing is we don't need him to come in and be a hero or be a savior. He's a good pitcher and a good addition, but we return a whole lot of depth on the staff. And have some young guys that didn't pitch a whole lot last year, but have really developed. So when you return a lot of key guys, sprinkle in a transfer or two, and then have a couple of freshmen that are now sophomores that we think have taken a big jump. I think that's our strength, is in numbers on the mound, is nobody has to feel like they have to go out and throw a complete game or a shutout. There's going to be somebody behind them that can compete and help them get through that game.
Northwood head baseball coach Jordan Bischel is our guest as we look ahead to the 2017 season. And coach, we know about the conference schedule, always a grind, but you'll have the chance to find out a lot about your team before you enter conference play. We talked a little bit about Milligan and Carson Newman, but a big Florida trip at the beginning of March. What are your expectations for that trip?
Yeah, that Florida trip is pretty huge for our season. We've got 13 games scheduled this year, which is about a quarter of our season. So to pack that into about a week and a half or 2 week stretch it's an interesting experience. You learn a lot about your team. A great thing about it is your depth gets tested. I doubt we'll really play anybody all 13 games. You got to keep guys fresh for conference play. It'll test your pitching staff. Some backup players will get some chances to get some opportunities, and it really helps you sort out going into conference play who's really ready to perform for you. In terms of chemistry, it's also huge. We spend a lot of time together. We just really get to know each other as a group. So it's an exciting time. I think our guys obviously enjoy the warmer weather and those things, but just from learning what our team is all about, we can do a lot during that stretch.
And you talked about the chemistry of the team. This is a senior-laden team, a lot of leadership, a lot of guys that have been in the program for a couple of years, and that's got to be comforting as a coach to have those guys that have been around the block, so to speak, and ready to step up for a big senior campaign.
Yeah, I think there can be downsides or plus sides of having an older or younger rosters. This group of seniors, it seems like, has really embraced trying to really be on the same page with our younger guys, our freshmen, our transfers, and try to make it one group. And that's what I've really liked about this senior class is there's no sense of entitlement. There's no thought of I'm a senior, so I should be more important. It's their goal has been make it one team, make them close, and that'll help us when we hit adversity. It's if you're playing well, chemistry sometimes doesn't come into play as much, but when you hit that 3 or 4 game losing streak, I think we have a group that's really going to stick together and grind through that.
And Coach, lastly, we'll get you out the door on this one. On a personal side of things, for those of you that don't know, twins on the way first and foremost. Congratulations, but it's got to be exciting. Are you and the lovely Katie Bischel ready for twins?
Probably not. 35 and a half years without kids, I don't think you can ever totally be ready, but we're excited. That'll be fun for us. We need them to just stay home and relax all the way until hopefully the end of May, so that hopefully we can have a good season before they arrive, but that'll be fun for us.
Yeah. And twin boys, correct?
Twin boys, yeah, so hopefully a couple of 6'7" basketball players.
I was going to say pitcher and catcher, but as always, Coach Bischel, we appreciate the time, and best of luck in the season, and be sure to follow the Timberwolves all season long on GoNorthwood.com. Thanks, Coach.